We return. We missed bye week, man, and maybe everything on earth revolved around Iowa in the last 2 weeks. So tough week for us to be traveling. Since we missed it, Cooper DeJean got robbed, and I'm still pissed.
Yeah, it was insane. It's old news, but it was insane.
It is old news.
Put it behind us.
That was upsetting. So, I mean, yeah, we'll put it behind us. Before we get into everything, so Jay Higgins, incredible interview. Awesome family. His dad has the best Twitter, probably as an Iowa fan. It's Mr. Higgins, and then anyone else who wants to claim it. But he has the throne right now.
Oh yeah,
for Hawkeye Twitter.
I think he's always had the throne ever since Jay got to Iowa. He's had the throne.
Once he got Hawk. Just he's got to trademark that, man.
Yeah, seriously.
He does. Every week now he raises it to another Hawk. I think we're at like 6 or 7 right now.
Yeah. And hopefully it's freaking 15 by the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. It's incredible. So we have a big week, man. Finally, Chicago week. We've been looking forward to this for a while. You're coming to town Thursday nights. It's going to be a blast because when we were in Iowa City, everyone who we talked to said they would be in Chicago for this game. This is a home game for Iowa.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to, yeah. Chicago's going to be running around with Hawkeyes all freaking weekend, baby.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we'll dive into the Brian news soon. But to start, Chicago-wise, here's the out-of-towners coming to town. Here's my recommendations for everyone because it gets packed on Clark Street. Clark Street is it's the street next to Wrigley Field with all of the bars. You're going to have Friday night. I think Old Crow can fit the most people on Clark Street. So I recommend we go there. It's like kind of a country bar. They have live music starting at like 10 or midnight or
let's go
whenever you start getting lost. But the two Iowa bars are Merkel's and Roadhouse 66 on Clark, and they're pretty small. I think. I mean, I'm an idiot with this, but if my brain had to guess, capacity is only like 200 people. So
it's like an Iowa City bar.
Dude, it's way smaller than any bar I've seen. It's probably a little smaller than Mickey's. Just the main floor of Mickey's.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough then. Looks like we're just have to pack all of them. What was the one that we went to when I was in Chicago when we went to Iowa City?
Four Shadows is awesome. That's in Lincoln Park. So if you want to go to Four Shadows, they're hosting a tailgate. They'll provide a bus to Wrigley, but it's about a 30-minute walk or a 10-minute bus ride. Beautiful. I don't know what streets they'll close Clark for sure that day. Saturday, for everyone coming to town Saturday. So Old Crow is the Ohio State bar, and they play Rutgers at 11 a.m. So I don't know if it's going to be an all-out Ohio State fest, even though we're going to flood that whole street for sure.
Yeah.
Murphy's is the classic pregame Cubs bar, but that's an Iowa State bar, even though they don't play till 9:15. Or no, they play 6. They play Kansas this week. Okay. And then Sandlot's a good one, Country Club, Happy Camper, all those are on Clark Street. And then obviously Merkel's, Roadhouse 66, Old Crow, Cubby Bear. All of those are there. I think we'll probably go Old Crow Friday and then whatever bar doesn't have a line at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Beautiful. Game's at 2:30, right? They changed it, didn't they?
2:30.
Okay. I kind of
What time should we – best time to drink.
Yeah.
What time should we get to the bar Saturday?
Game's at 2:30, probably 10.
So for any of the listeners, if we're on max time, that means 11.
Yeah. maybe 12.
Yeah.
I've been a little, I've been running my late.
Hopefully we get to see Billy Woo this weekend. Or
Who's
Ronnie
Billy?
Woo.
Who's Ronnie Woo?
So it's a Cubs guy, but he goes to Northwestern games during the fall, and he just has a jersey that says "Woo Woo" on the back. He goes around Wrigleyville and just goes, "Cubbies, woo! Ronnie, woo!"
There we go. Let's hope so.
He's a legend, man.
But yeah, so Chicago, Wrigley Field, man, it's gonna be a fun time. There's a lot of like you said, there's a lot. I know a lot of players that are coming back, that are coming to this game. I mean, it's a perfect spot. Like no one wants to go to the Northwestern. No one wants to go to Northwestern. But making the game at Wrigley makes it so much more fun.
It's so sweet too, because Iowa. A lot of people who live in Iowa are Cubs fans because Iowa Cubs, proximity, America's team.
Yeah, no, not America's team.
What you think the Tigers are?
Nah, yeah, I guess I can't say anything about that. I'm the Rangers, baby. I'm on the Ranger train.
The Rangers. That's right.
That's right.
I know. I was in Dallas last weekend, like a couple of days ago. Unbelievable vibes there for a World Series. So pulling for them. Maybe go back for the parade. We'll see.
Wait,
it's awesome.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I forgot that both are Texas teams.
That's my team.
Let's go.
Secondary team. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get down to it.
Let's start out with the big news, obviously. Brian, they announced it mid-season, basically, that he's not coming back next year. Forster, let's hear your thoughts on this because I know I definitely have some opinions on it. Just kind of the way they went about it, but what do you think?
I want to preference by saying this. The contract was out there. Everyone knew about it. That was very publicly known that Brian probably had maybe a 5% fighting chance of keeping his job come January 1st or whenever his contract date set. With that being said, I think the only fighting chance was, I don't know, maybe Beth was like, "Oh, Kirk, do whatever you want." Kirk was like, "Oh, okay, the injuries, everything about the injuries, we're going to keep him." I thought that was the only 5% chance that he had. I do think with recent history, and this is just my opinion, preferencing it, is it's the right decision moving forward. I do not like when it was announced or how any of the situation has been handled by Barta making the contract and now Beth doing this in the middle of the season. Is it Getz? I know we asked somebody this.
Getz, yeah.
Gertz? All right. Getz, yeah. Nice.
But yeah. No,
as a former player, I'm more intrigued to hear your thoughts, though.
Yeah. It's tough with the whole addendum that was made to his contract beginning of the year. I mean, gives him a target on his back, obviously, and it's public knowledge, which for him sucks because obviously people have a reason for him to cheer for Iowa not getting 25 points so they can not have him on the team anymore. I personally love Brian, always have, always will. And like you said, yeah, like just how the season's been going, it wasn't looking good in his favor in terms of coming back next year. But I think it's, and I haven't really heard her talk about much or seen her decisions she's made with the athletic programs or anything. But in terms of football, I think it's unnecessary to make a decision like that and make it public knowledge to everyone that he is not coming back this year. when there's 4 games left, we have a chance of making it to the Big Ten championship. And all that does by telling everyone, hey, he's not coming back, is give them more of a reason to say boo at Brian at games. Like, it's just, and the whole locker room, it gives everyone that sense of why tell people that when there's still games left? Like, why make a distraction when there is that much focus that needs to be done to make it to the championship? And knowing Brian, like, I'm sure it sucks, but he's going to stay locked in. He's going to do what's best for the team for the rest of the games, for the rest of the season. And it's not going to change how he looks at each game. It's not going to change how anyone else looks at the game. Honestly, it'll make those guys fight that much harder because they all love Brian. They all love the Ferentzes. Every single one of them. So I'm not a fan of the fact that they announced it and with 4 games left, and especially made it public knowledge. I mean, if they're going to do something like that, I feel like you kind of have to keep that on the very down low. You can't have those kind of distractions, and now it just gives a negative energy, a negative vibe towards the team. But I know that I know the guys are going to stay focused, and it's going to give them that much more of an incentive to win because they want to win for Brian. So,
yeah, agreed. And a great point. Obviously, we're saying the timing of it is bad. That's what we're disagreeing with. Like, you look at it, when somebody gets in trouble in that locker room, what does the Ferentz family do? They'd say, oh, it's a personal matter or something like that. Like, they just want to eliminate all distractions the entire season. That's their main goal with the way you guys do media training, the way that you guys do any sort of punishments. They just want to eliminate distraction. By making this public knowledge, even though the contract was already public knowledge. So if anyone could read between the lines, we would have known. Basically, I mean, obviously, Kirk's been there a while. Basically, it was known Brian probably wasn't going to be our coordinator next year. So to do this in the middle of the season when we still are chasing the West title, I thought was crazy to me. Had we only won 2 games this year, do it mid-season. I do think if you're going to announce something mid-season, why would you continue to let him coach? Because then it's like a dead man walking and the distraction's still there. And if you're going to do it during a bye week, do it right after the game, not the game week after the bye week. That made no sense to me.
Yeah. No, it's frustrating, man. It's like seeing, like you said, it makes him a dead man walking, because now what? What's he coaching towards? Mm-hmm. And this is what's cool is, and this is why I love Brian. He's going to show that he's not a dead man walking. He's going to fight for the last 4 games of the season. He's going to put everything he has into coaching those guys because he knows this is it. Everyone knows this is it. And it just sucks seeing people cheer so hard for an offensive coordinator to be fired. And then everyone makes it, oh, this is so awesome that, like, everyone's so excited that he is done after this year. But guess what? You still got to cheer for him because he's the coach for the rest of the year. And this still could be a winning season, and we can still make it to the Big Ten championship, which is the goal at the beginning of every year. So, yeah, it's frustrating to hear that. And granted, I get a lot of people wanted Brian out. And, I mean, the offense has been struggling this year, so it's an easy out to say get rid of him. Mm-hmm. But just the way, like you said, the way they did it, just not that frustrates me. And I really do believe that he's going to coach his ass off. And it's because he loves coaching. He loves the players he coaches for. And I think he's going to go out with a bang, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be kind of a FU to the people who said you're done for the rest of the year, or you're done after next year. This year, jeez. But yeah.
You know, it'd be awesome, though, if all of a sudden we start seeing Cooper DeJean at quarterback, get some trick plays in the book, some fakes.
Yeah.
Open it up. Get your whole can of worms. He's coaching for his next job now, I guess, too, as well as Iowa. So open everything up, let it loose, and let's see some points on the board, Brian.
Yeah, but also like don't like I'm being straight up with you. I don't think we should be expecting 30 points a game for the rest of the year. Like he's gonna stick to what he knows, and they're gonna run it damn well. But I'm telling you, it's gonna depend on how good the players do with that, because I'm like I said, it's gonna give them more of an incentive to push as hard as they can for the rest of the season, have the most focus they can, because everyone who's played for Brian loves Brian, absolutely, as they should, because he is a player's coach. He's awesome to be coached by because he knows what he's talking about. And I understand sometimes play calling, yeah, it can be tough, but I'm telling you, the guys are going to lay it on the line, and they're going to show that sometimes it's not the play calling, it's just the execution, and they're going to execute harder than they ever have.
Yeah, absolutely. I do also want to say I think Beth has done an excellent job with the Swarm.
Yeah,
so absolutely. I think that was rolling very well for her. She's crushing that. The Brian thing, I just don't like the timing of it. It's that simple. Also, the Barta thing, didn't like the contract, and I was a Barta guy. I enjoyed the way he didn't make emotional decisions very ever. He was very consistent with his coaches. Like with Fran gets technicals. I love how he lets him coach. Fran's awesome on the sideline. I love watching him get fired up. So much respect for the way they have let coaches just build culture and good programs at Iowa. And I think the thing that scares me most about this is KF is so old in age. What stops him from being like, all right, fuck this, middle of the season? The distractions are there. He even said it today. You could tell he was pissed. He said, I've been doing the same thing for 25 years. We evaluated after the season, and this is the first time that's been broken.
Yeah, exactly. And it's tough to start off on not a great foot with probably the biggest face in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not great. But let me say, this is the first press conference I've tuned into, because it's media shit. But he did an unbelievable job of answering those questions, because before we get into that, the fact that they made Brian's contract public before the season started with the 25 points thing, that's bullshit too. Like I get it. Like, fans are the biggest part of Iowa, the best, absolute best. And I will always say that. But to give the man a target on his back.
It was national media too, not even just Iowa.
Yeah, national media. Like, everyone's like, oh, every single person I know is like, oh, your coach has to get like 25 points a game, right? Like, why make that discreet? Don't let the public know about that, because like this whole year is gone, everyone's been cheering for him to be gone. And guess what? They got their wish mid-season. And it shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't make that kind of stuff public, because then all fans are going to do are cheer for negative stuff. So
This is wild. KF doesn't even make torn ACLs public. Like, we've had 2 this season, and he just says, yeah, they'll be done for season.
Well, it's like, that's the thing, is like they care. Like, they really, every single coach cares a lot about whoever gets injured, whoever happens to someone, if someone gets in trouble, but they're not going to put that out there and ruin their image. And all this contract has done is just ruin Brian's image, and it's just unnecessary, because he's a good coach. He's a great coach, great guy, and So I honestly, I hope he fucking kicks ass for the rest of the year. I really. Going back to what I was saying, though, KF handled press conferences unbelievably. Every single question, as expected, was about Brian, basically. And it came down to him saying, you know what, we're focused on – and that like you said, that kind of shows who he is. Like, he's a head coach for Iowa football. His main goal is to get the team focused for next week. And when this kind of distraction comes out, obviously it's going to be annoying. And that's all the questions are going to be about. And I love the fact that he put the players aside and said they're not doing stuff until Saturday after the game, because that is their main focus. It should be their main focus. And if they would have been in the press conference today, every single question would have been about that. And that's just not fair for the players to answer that. So I think KF did a great job with that. But yeah, every single question he answered was, we're staying focused. The only question that he really went in depth with was, are you excited to play at Wrigley Field? And obviously he gave a KF answer that he's grown up watching them his whole life. And he's only put on 2 fields, one of them being New York Yankee Stadium, which was our freshman year, and it was freaking crazy. Like, give him something to talk about. Don't give him something that obviously he's not going to answer. Like, they're just trying to bait him and giving them a bad answer, and he did a great job of kind of diverting the attention away from that and keeping the focus on the game this week.
Yeah, he did. It is true. I mean, a win, obviously it's not going to take away any questions. I think they'll face that until the season's over. Players will. But winning definitely draws more attention to football than a bye week, nothing to talk about football-wise from this past Saturday. So obviously coming off, that's why I think it should have been done the moment after Minnesota. Get the distraction and the media out of the way. Let them have the bye week and then go into game week. Prepare.
Yeah. Bad time.
Yeah, it was terrible timing. So, yes, that is the only complaint I have is the timing.
Yep.
Anyways, the positives, let's get into some hypotheticals here. I talked to my uncle the other week, and he was saying, what's stopping Kirk from just saying, all right, I want to get a title. I'm at his contract's still 28, I believe, 28, 29.
Yep.
One of those. But what's stopping him now from just giving a bright offensive mind who he has talked to throughout the years, giving him a blank check and saying, all right, the keys are yours. We're still going to be badass on defense. Phil's here. Coach Wallace is here. Here's the keys to the offense. Go score some points and let's go win a title.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's I mean, obviously it's exciting. It's a change. But again, like you hate to talk about it because you still got a season left, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with this, like, it's not like there's no hope left. Like, we could still go out there, make the Big Ten championship. And right now it's looking like Ohio State, which that's fine. Like, I'd love to take an Ohio State because Michigan's fucking stealing play calls. So we don't want to get cheated out of a Big Ten championship. We'd rather lose fairly than unfairly. Which now I'm questioning if we won or if we lost fairly in 2021, because apparently that's when the play calling stealing started. So
they probably started with Iowa.
Exactly. They knew it was gonna be
close. They were our first target.
They knew it was gonna be tight. So they needed something to pull away from us, and it worked.
The only way they could stop us held us to 3 points because they knew our play calls.
Yeah. If they wouldn't have figured it out, you don't know how many points we would have scored.
Mm-hmm. Max Cooper, 2021 Big Ten champ.
Hey, could be. Maybe they revoke it. But
did you get a ring?
I don't know if I would even want to take the ring at that. It would be funny. I honestly think it would be funny. But yeah, I mean, let's get into Northwestern. Because
let's do it.
To be honest with you, at the beginning of the year, I'm like, this Northwestern game is gonna be a fucking cakewalk. They're
around. Frisky, man.
They'll turn it around.
They're frisky.
They're playing hard because they know everyone's counting them out. It's Northwestern. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good game. We'll also talk about this because, hey, we love a good spread and love a good over under. The lowest over under in the history of FBS football, 29.5. Do you take over? Do you take under? I actually don't know.
I think I want to root for the under, and this breaks the previous record of 2 weeks ago for lowest over under.
Yeah, which is great. So I honestly think it's going to be the under as well, because our defense is going to play stick, and it's Northwestern. So every time we play these guys, it's a freaking shootout, a low shootout. I think it's going to be a big defensive game. It's going to be – you want to talk about an Iowa – you want to talk about a Big Ten football game? You thought Wisconsin versus Iowa was Big Ten football, which classic Iowa versus Wisconsin game. But this is going to be interesting. Buckle up. There's not going to be a lot of points scored, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's ready for that.
It was great because the last time we podcasted was before the Minnesota game.
Yep.
And we talked about how winning ugly the rest of the season would just be great. It's pissing off America. It's hilarious. Obviously, now that we can't make the playoff with 2 losses, it's not as funny. But Cooper DeJean returned it. If that had gone down as a win, the refs don't go to the replay booth, then that would have been the greatest win. And then to just chuck it right into Wrigley Field on this terrible grass against Northwestern, who's just kind of in shambles, even though they've really turned it around this season.
But, you know what? Fuck that. It's not old news. That was a horrible fucking call. And the fact that you can not call it on the field, this is the worst part about it. It was a absolutely terrible call. Like it is a thing before every game. The ref comes up to the punt return, says, make sure you're making a blatant fair call catch because we need to see it. The fact that you can not call it on the field, review if it was a fair catch, and then overturn that is unbelievable. And I know we're freaking pounding the dead horse here, but is that the right saying?
Beating a dead horse, same thing. You got it.
But that was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'm not saying.
What I want to know from you, how do they coach you, and what kind of rules do they tell you when you first you were a punt returner. What do they tell you, teach you, whatever? I'm telling you, it's a blatant thing. Like you need to make sure it's over your head. Like that's the rule, is over your head. And like they do tell you, like if there is waving of hands, like blatant waving of hands, like usually it's both hands. Like if you're going like get out of the way, but like if you're like running with your, like that's just, it's bullshit, man. And like they do tell you need to put your hand over the head. Like it's a thing that they'll miss fair catch calls. Like they miss fair catch calls because sometimes they're just not paying attention to you. Sometimes they can't tell. But the fact that you can go to a replay booth and overturn something like that, I didn't even know that's a thing, first off. But yeah, it's unbelievable. It's just Did you see Chad? So Chad Lysko got to meet with, I believe it was the head of Big Ten referees or Big Ten officials. So he got to ask the questions. Did you get to look at the answers of the official?
No.
It made it 10 times worse. He said, on the field level, when you look at the video, there's no, he didn't say there's no conclusive evidence, but basically he said you can't tell if he's waving his arm or not. But when they went to replay, the overhead angle, you can tell he's waving his arm. It's like, what angle do you think the players, the coaches, everyone playing football is at? Do you think they're in the sky just coming down? Like,
yeah,
that is asinine.
They're in blimps watching the game, then parachuting down. Like they're head to head with you, and it's like the whole point of a replay is for conclusive evidence. Like if there's a question, you don't overturn it. Like that's how it's always been. That's the whole point of replay reviews. The fact that you can do that on a minute left in a game for a punt return to win the game.
After telling KF, they're looking to see if he's out of bounds.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And you know what? I can go on and on about this because it's bullshit. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't even have put ourselves in that position. We should have won that game. Like we should have handily won that game. And
they had 4 field goals because we turned it over on our side of the field a bajillion times.
Yeah, turnover.
Literally a billion times. So we got to clean it up.
Yep.
No more turnovers. They should have scored 0 points that game.
Yep.
Defense is so badass.
Yeah, they're sick.
Higgins, great interview. Leading tackler for Power 5 linebackers. He's having a hell of a year.
They're legit.
So, another thing about that Cooper DeJean return, and I'm not even talking referee here now, when he took that back, it's like, please get him on offense, because when he has the ball in his hands, it's like he can't be touched. He just juked the entire spin move, the entire Minnesota team into another universe. Like the whole state basically shifted over to South Dakota.
Dude, he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Dude, the vision you have of that, like, I'm not trying to sound like a washed up player here, but to be able to spin move and not go cross field to where it usually is open and be able to take it to the house on the same sideline that you spun move was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable play. The vision on him is incredible. And then cutting back and be able to make that, dude. I mean, talk about a clutch gene, no pun intended, bang. Yeah, he's a hell of a player, man. Hell of a player.
We're literally watching one of the most special players to play for Iowa. Just, you're right. The vision that he has every time he's on the field, it's like you don't want to throw his way. And then when he does touch the ball in the punt game, you're like, oh, he might take one to the house.
Yeah. But it's sweet though, is now he's put that on film. They're going to be, I mean, it kind of sucks for Iowa because we want him to return it, but they're going to be so conservative now for punting. Like they're going to be trying to, instead of just hitting a spiral bomb and letting the coverage team go down there, they're going to be trying to put it up in the air and make them fair catch everything now.
Although a good thing, also the Minnesota game, Torrey 57 yards in a 28-mile-an-hour wind. Jeez.
He's the greatest punter I've ever seen in my life.
Are you kidding me, Torrey?
Ever.
But now that we're in the dog days of the season, November, like punters are going to struggle in Big Ten games with the wind, the cold. Like it's going to get pretty wild. So to have that factor back there, that's going to do a lot of wonders for game planning going forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's gonna be interesting because Wrigley's pretty wide open. It's not obviously it's not a football stadium. It's not a bowl. It's for baseball. The wind's gonna be cooking through that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't expect anything different though. I mean, I think Torrey's gonna bomb it. I think it's gonna be sweet. I think they're gonna use the punt to their advantage like they have been. We're gonna embrace it. We're gonna come out there and just fucking kick ass. It's gonna be a hell of a game. It's gonna be a fun game to watch. We're gonna be in the stands with a liquid coat on, with a coat on as well, cheering our asses off, man. Great seats too. We got great seats.
Yeah, that is going to be yeah. Where are you sitting?
I'm pretty sure I'm like 214. Does that sound right?
All right.
Section
All right.
2.
Nice. It's still like first deck. The 200 sections, it's all first deck.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am 240. I'm pretty sure I'm like row like 7.
All right. 242. Okay, I know where you're. So you're end zone.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, you're going to be the west end zone.
Oh, my bad. 214, row 1.
Oh, that's sweet.
Let's go.
All right. Okay. I think we are. So I bought 16 tickets on pre-sale. We are section 115, row 5. I think that I'm going to take these tickets for my 8. The other one is section 21, row 13. That's basically like the 21's like very close to field. That's why they have to do the sidelines they're both together.
Yeah.
They split it by 50-yard lines over there because the fans on the other side are so close to the field they wouldn't be able to see over the players on that side.
So the 214 is that? Am I going to be like by the moss or the ivy?
No, it's third base line, I believe.
Okay, cool.
So you're going to be behind the west end zone.
Cool.
I'll try and.
I'm interested to see how they set up the field.
So it goes home plate to third base is one end zone. That's what you're sitting behind.
Oh.
And then the outfield and right field is the other end zone. So it goes side to side.
Okay, got it.
Football's wide enough where, bleachers are farther away, but you can still see everything.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And we get some sick gear from Hockadelic.
We did. Go check out their website. They have incredible stuff.
Yeah, they got some cool. I know I've said this before, but there used to be the tailgate shop in downtown Iowa City. This is like the cooler tailgate. Like they got some cool stuff. Quality, awesome designs, great people. So yeah, give them a check out for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm hyped. And Wrigleyville is we're gonna be. If you see us this weekend, we might be in rough shape.
We might be. It's gonna be
so fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. And unfortunately, we talked to the El Rey's owner, and I don't think the tin roof is going to be open for this weekend. It sounds like it's going to be sometime in November. They haven't officially finalized it.
Sounds like the 17th.
Yeah, that's where like the maybe is. So once that's open, storm that bar because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be. El Rey's is the best. The best.
El Rey's athlete of the week, Cooper DeJean.
Damn right.
Yeah, he was pretty solid. Yeah, I look forward to it. Tweet at us, DM us. If we get service by the stadium Saturday, we'll respond. I know we had issues with service for every single football game that we've had. It's impossible.
Yeah,
it's impossible. But yeah, we'd love to see you guys in Wrigleyville. We'll be there Friday and Saturday night. Other than that, enjoy this week. Enjoy the game and go Hawkeyes.
Go Hawks, baby.
All right, we have maybe the second most famous family in Iowa City is the Higgins. Maybe only behind the Ferentz right now.
Hawk, baby.
Hawk.
Dad's a big fan. Big fan. All over Twitter.
Me and Forrester have both gone up to him at the games. And I saw him at the homecoming. And I went up to him like, Mr. Higgins, I don't know if you know who I am, but I played with your son. My name is Max Cooper. He's like, oh, I'm like, we're trying to get you on the podcast. He's like, I'm in. Like, I'm totally in. You let me know. It was awesome. We're gonna get him on here.
I'll send his number later.
All right, cool.
But he'll 100% get on for sure though.
Let's go. That's so hype.
You know what was awesome that week? We saw them walking across the bridge over by the stadium, and he was with your grandpa, and they had like the cowboy hats and the boots on.
No, he's like, so he's from Louisville, so he's like country. And then his dad like moved his family up to Indianapolis. But he's always like been big in the horses and stuff like that. So it's funny when he like wears that to an Iowa football game that has nothing to do with riding horses, but that's just kind of his thing.
Jay, here's a question for you. So are you born and raised from Indianapolis?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who the OG Indianapolis kid on the team is?
The OG?
Yeah.
Dude, the oldest I date is Tyrone.
And you know who was before him? You're looking at him, baby. I lived there for.
Is this you claiming Carmel again?
Yeah, it counts, bro.
Oh my God. You can't claim Carmel for 2 years.
Why not? I was actually like 7 months, but I'm taking it.
OG.
Tyrone used to hate that.
You might be, because Drew, Tyrone, DJ, they were all in the same class.
Oh, I know. Trust
Jay
me.
Boyd.
Every day. That's where the basketball stars are born, man.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Yeah, Jay, you were a big basketball guy back in the day.
Big hooper.
I was trying to look up all the articles and highlights. The Indy Star puts a pay block on everything, but so when it got into it, it said one, you knew that you were going to Iowa since like sophomore year of high school. Is this true?
I came for the junior day, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty solid." And then, but I was a sophomore coming to the junior day, so I was like, that visit was like the best I had so far. And then they were just like showing me the most love out of anybody. So I was like, I'm gonna ride with these guys, like even if these other schools try to hit me up. And then you said what?
Was that for a game?
No, the junior day was just like literally, I think it was just like a weekend or something like that, or like a Saturday out of season. It was when it was literally when the new end zone was being put up, like the new, whenever that was, like it was knocked down when I was there on the visit.
Jeez, that was like
2019.
Yeah.
19.
Right?
Yeah, I was a sophomore.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, that's throwback. Dude, I remember, you know how you get to Snapchat memories?
Yeah.
I like still have memories of the swarm. And I remember like I used to think that was the sickest thing ever, bro. Like, look at these dudes, like they're so big. Like
dude.
And then now I'm like, those dudes like are about to go mess up plays and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like I know all those dudes now.
They're just normal dudes, yeah.
Like if you just saw a shot like with the long hair, like don't know him, you're like, oh, that's what college football's about.
Yes.
Like old lineman, long hair, knee, he's got the Don joints on. You're like, oh, this dude's about to hit. And then you get to know him, and it's like that's like the funniest dude you know.
Yeah, they got the land sharks rolling.
Yeah. Because I went to the Penn State when I wore those yellow jerseys.
Oh, it was tough, yeah.
And that was the sickest thing.
Yeah, bro. I remember Tyrone was telling me his visit was Penn State my freshman year, which was when we played Saquon. Bro. That game was insane. We still lost.
He had himself a day, to say the least.
Oh yeah. It was
the most athletic guy. He got hit the play he got hit in midair was like, oh, he's going to the league now.
Yeah, both guys got hit by are starting in the NFL right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was a good defense.
Dude, I think the whole defense is in the NFL.
They had dudes on that roster.
Yeah, it was crazy. And we went like 8-4 in the regular season.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So Northwestern this week. What do you think? And how's it looking?
Typical Big Ten team. Good quarterback. Good tight end. They got the kid from Michigan playing receiver up there, number 8. Dude, I feel like we've been seeing our fair share of like mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like I feel like after the portal this like past offseason, like now all these dudes can leave the pocket. Like before that, I feel like it just wasn't like that. We didn't have to worry about that. But I mean, it's just we got another quarterback that's able to beat us with his feet. So
yeah.
I mean, obviously we got a game plan for that. And he's a competitor too. That Purdue quarterback was a competitor. Wisconsin quarterback was a competitor. Like these are dudes like leaving a pocket in the Big Ten. Like you know you're gonna get hit, and they're fine with it, which is crazy.
Well, bro, it's tough, like because like your guys' defense, like if you can't scramble, it's over because like they're not gonna be running up the middle because they know the linebacker's gonna collapse on them, and then if they're sitting in the pocket, the D linemen are gonna get to them. If they can scramble, it gives them way more of an opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are still elite when it comes to them getting outside the pocket, but I mean, I definitely have opportunities. But Yeah, dude, Northwestern's they're kind of turning it around the year.
They're coming off a big Maryland win.
Yeah,
they play good football now. I was watching that actually.
Have you ever played at Northwestern?
Yeah, I was there freshman year. They came in during COVID and played really good football against us because that's when they went to the Big Ten championship.
Oh, yeah, right.
21, we went there and they threw cheese at our defensive huddle. And Dane is allergic to cheese.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, that was.
Did he like puff up before the game?
No, he was just freaking out. Like he was freaking out. Cammy, our trainers were freaking out. But it was like this. They put the student section right behind like the defensive bench. And like a cup of nacho cheese went flying in our huddle.
That was of course it was during the game. It wasn't pre-game.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was nuts.
He's like highly allergic or something. So it was like not only were we mad, we were like, yo, like this is serious. Like he can't, you know what I mean? He can't be in contact with it.
Yeah, big time.
It's crazy because if there's one school that you would be thinking is throwing stuff at players, it's Northwestern doesn't come to mind there.
Yeah, with their 15 fans in the stadium.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least that's a cool thing, dude. I mean, are you excited to play at Wrigley?
Yeah, I am. It's because it's at Wrigley. It's gonna be a good crowd. So I mean, we're prepared for that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how like the acoustics will be, but I'm sure it'll sound like they're on top of us.
Yeah,
and then it's like it's not a neutral site, but Iowa fans can get to Chicago. So
it's gonna like from what everyone who lives in Chicago, like it's a heavy Iowa base. There's like 10 Iowa bars, which you don't see in any city for a school. But everyone is like, oh, I'm going to the game. Even when we were in Iowa City, they're like, oh, we'll be at the Wrigley game. So
well, the crazy part is
this is a home game.
The tickets were, I mean, the alumni got them for less. The tickets at one point, I think it was like after the first or second game of the season, were like $400.
No shot.
Yeah, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, I'm playing and I wouldn't have went. 400, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's gonna be interesting. Like I don't know what the acoustics is gonna be like because it's pretty wide open.
Yeah,
it's not like a dome or anything. Like when we played at has Coach Ferentz talked to you guys about the Pinstripe Bowl yet?
No, not yet. But I remember like there's like some install tape because like Josie basically did everything perfect. So when they teach us how to do plays, it's Josie on there. But that field looked terrible, bro.
Bro, you don't like. I'm telling you, I tell people this story all the time. Like, first off, the kicker for Boston College tore his ACL in warmups because he slipped.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
There would be dudes coming around the jet, like a full speed jet sweep, get the ball, cut, and feet from under him, like flipping backwards because like there's just no traction. It was the crazy. Our heater broke on the sideline. My mom told me she put her drink down for 2 minutes and it froze solid. It was like, there's no way that's like we should be playing. It was crazy.
How many wins did y'all have?
That was fresh. So we were 8-4 going into that game. So we ended up being 9-4. We played. It was like AJ Dillon. That was all they had.
Big back.
Yeah, big boy. And he held him like 30 yards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this can be way nicer than that. It's supposed to be like Fortress is supposed to be 60.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It snowed today. Did it snow in Iowa City?
Nah, it was cold though. I had a cold practice.
Oh yeah, brutal.
I walked by Wrigley last week. They had the gate open. You could see them laying down just like 5x10 grass, like their makeshift grass on the infield.
That can't be good. That can't be good, dude.
You guys are gonna be slipping and sliding, man.
They got rid of the infield pretty quick.
Yeah, seriously.
But I mean, Northwestern has the tallest grass on earth, like in Evanston, Ryan Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an upgrade. This is going to be an upgrade for sure.
Dude, you know who's got a crazy field? The arch in Wisconsin's field is crazy.
Crazy, bro.
Crazy.
I played there five times. I remember the first time I stepped foot on that field, which was like it was in high school for like the state championship. I'm like, if this is what every college football field's like, bro, this is messed up. Because it's literally like
it was a mountain.
Bro. It's like if you're in the middle of the field, like, oh, that guy's 6'8". Like that's just 6'8" linebacker right there. And then you jog off to the sideline. It's like, what happened?
Yeah, it's like, damn, bro. Yeah, that's dude. And I'm pretty sure they redid their turf. It used to be like carpet. Like it used to be like just straight carpet.
Yeah,
True.
like that strip in the facility.
Yes.
In the weight room.
Yes. It's like they didn't put any turf in there. It was just
plastic. It's plastic spikes.
Yeah, it literally felt like that. There's no pellets or anything. It was just straight plastic. It was crazy. But yeah.
Jay, back to basketball. There also in the Deontay Craig, Indiana kid, basketball stud. You recruited him to Iowa, I saw.
Yeah. Lead recruiter, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, the kid could have went anywhere. You know what I mean? Kid could have went anywhere, and I know when I'm at Iowa, I'm preaching defense, you know, and I'm telling them we're going to coach her hard, you know. He's going to get a great education. We're going to make it feel like home. And you know, I saw his parents, and they knew me, and you know, I think I'm 4 for 4. No, I'm 4 for 5 in recruiting.
Who'd you lose?
Like I'm a dude.
Who'd you lose?
Who'd I lose? It was a D lineman who went to Arkansas State. So I'm not mad. You know, like I don't even know what that means. Like cool.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got a DN from Texas. He's coming in. I got another tight end. Easy sell. I mean, they put me with the player panel with just him and his parents. Easy. I mean, I'm in there chatting them, talking about Lachey, talking about Laporta. You know what I mean? What the tight ends mean to this university. Just chatting them.
Yep.
I saw in their face, got them easy. DN was down here. I mean, he had some big boy offers. I was like, KB rotates you anywhere. I mean, if you're on a D line, you'll play.
Yeah.
Chatting him, chatting his family, got him. So Craig was easy. All I had to do was tell Craig. This is what IU told Craig. IU told Craig that he was going to be able to play football and basketball. And once I told Craig, I was like, yo, like, that's not real. Like, that's not legit. And he just, like, didn't want to believe me. But the day he, like, realized that was cap, he committed.
Hey. Probably, yeah, basketball team's great. I mean, they're all right.
Did you ever play him in basketball in high school?
Yeah, he beat us twice in basketball, but every time we played him in football, we beat him.
Bro, they're both of them are hoopers. I remember when we went to that park.
Yeah,
and it was like
I remember every hoop session, buddy. It tells me a lot about the person.
Yeah.
What kind of man is Coop?
He's a hardworking.
Bullshit. Don't give me that shit. I want to be the little nitty gritty guy that was always playing defense, hustling, boxing out. I didn't do any of that shit.
I mean,
he's taking charges.
There wasn't a loose ball without his name on it. You know, just passing and cutting.
I did doing pass and cut.
Doing what the team needed. You know, he's a team first player. Man.
I'm trying to get our team to win. Yeah,
I'm describing a Iowa free safety.
Yes, you are. Jay and Craig like broke me down. Like I couldn't. I thought my defense was like my best part of my game? No.
We hoop for real. Like we hoop for real. Like
That's not
Max
basketball.
Max plays basketball. What me and Craig did was like we hooped. Like we hooped for real. So it's like it's fun. It's fun playing casuals.
Have you guys ever last year when we had Kayvon on, he told the story of dunking on Spencer.
He can ball, cake and ball.
Have you seen any casualties on the basketball court in your time?
When we first got to campus, me and Craig were actually put up in the hotel because we had COVID because we went to a football party and somebody at the party had COVID.
That party was whack, bro.
But then somehow the two freshmen who just got on campus were like, "Oh, you were at this party. You need to be quarantined." And I'm like, it was like a classic, like, all right, this is like my first time meeting the guys. Like, do I tell the trainer that the whole football team was at this party? Or do I just take it on the chin and be like, yeah, like it was only us two? But they quarantined us. All the freshmen in the chat were like, meet us downtown. Like they're going to this park to hoop. And it's like on the outside of town. And we like have to walk there from the Hilton. And then YA Black sees Mason in the lane and just goes up with the left and yams it. And this is freshman. This is like freshman everybody. So we're all like 20 pounds lighter. Like all 20, like Mason's probably like 40 pounds lighter. YA is probably 40 pounds lighter freshman year. And I'm talking just left hand yams it on him. Like I got it in my memory, Snapchat memories.
Bro, he used to like
YA can hoop too.
He can hoop, and he's aggressive as hell down low. Yeah. Like you're not getting the ball. If he has it in the paint, it's over. Like he's a beast. I actually like that day I didn't realize how many like hoopers we actually had in our team.
Yeah.
And then I realized these are some grown ass men, and they're younger than me. This sucks.
Give me a 5 that's beating this 5. Me, Deontay Craig, Luke Lachey, YA Black.
You leaving DeJean off?
I'm saying my grade.
Okay.
My grade. But if we're throwing Coop in there, that's game. We're throwing Coop in there, that's game.
All right, I got one for you. Me.
Game.
Have you ever seen Epinesa ball?
Big Epinesa or Eric?
Big.
Okay.
Not Eric.
Okay.
No disrespect to Eric. I'm sure. But Big Epinesa could ball, bro. He was
ball, like could play.
He had an offer to Northwestern.
That's right.
The hoop.
He was good in high school.
I did not know that.
Oh, he could yam. Like he was a dangerous post player.
I did not know that.
Me, Epi, Kayvon.
K, you're great though?
I'm not counting my grade. You put
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh, dude, I don't know anyone else.
Yeah,
You win. You take it.
Big AJ could ball though.
Big AJ could ball.
Eric.
He had a Michigan State offer, I heard. Bro, like him, actually, yeah.
Something like that.
Kayvon had Western Michigan.
Kayvon was a hooper.
Yeah.
Who else could?
We need that security footage of him dunking on Spence.
Bro, no, screw that. Have you seen the footage of him dunking on the kid at the rec?
No.
Oh
Is
my!
that out there,
bro.
Oh, please send.
He split some dude between the legs. He came off a high ball screen, threw it between the kid's legs, grabbed it, set up, and fucking like I haven't seen something like that, bro, in a long time. It was like a ESPN top 10. Like I'll try and find the footage. It was on Barstool, Iowa. Like he just obliterated some kid.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a bitch to find, but I'll try and find it.
I wish we could play in like intramural sports.
You guys would win every time.
That'd be so fun.
Like you,
After
why? Like you guys would just dominate.
were you guys field house rack or just go to a park?
So it was COVID, so we had to go to a park freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start taking the rims off the boards. Like I was like, what are we doing? But yeah, we're field house now. Like in the summer, it's field house.
That's sweet. Yeah. Then you can run like fives against the frats and just fuck them up.
Yeah. Like we can. So what we do is like. So sometimes if we just have like 5, we'll just play everybody. But then like we'll go with like 12, or like sometimes it's like 15. So then you just like take over a court for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That is awesome.
Or what sucks is like we got 10, so then you beat a 5, and then some kids got another 5, and they're like trying hard,
and they've been waiting.
And I'm like, dude, like we need to win this game, but like we gotta save our energy for the next game. But then these kids just start hitting threes, like just pulling shots, like banking in threes. I'm like, all right, like we really gotta lock in now. Because like nobody wants to play defense when it's like if it's a competitive game, then like dudes play defense. But if we see a bunch of like maxes out there, like now everybody's like trying new shots and stuff. So then we're like really playing these teams hard.
That's crazy.
It's a fun time.
That's awesome. Jay, I gotta ask about Nick Jackson. The transfer coming in. You guys have been balling. It's like Iowa, obviously known as tight end. You preached it to whatever tight end is coming to Iowa. Linebacker U is very much in the cards right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell people. You know, we might not say much, but we're coming. That's how it sound like prime time, didn't it?
That's right, it did.
No, but Nick's like my best friend, dude. I mean, he had the Iowa offer out of high school, which is hilarious. So like if Nick committed to Iowa, like I don't know if I'd be here, which is like kind of scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Funny how life works like that, bro. It's crazy. Is he from Virginia?
No, he's from Atlanta, Georgia. But his dad went to Virginia. So then there was that connection. And it's like that degree is pretty good. So he's got a Virginia degree sitting on. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You know. But he stayed up there to graduate. So when he was in the portal, like he got in the portal after the season, but had to stay there like the whole spring to get his degree. So we didn't like get him in spring ball, which kind of scared me because I was like we could have been playing together this whole time. But he got here in like the summer, so all we really had was fall camp and then like the season. And I mean, you know how complicated our defense is. I was like, there's no shot we're gonna get this linebacker ready to play. And I mean, for a dude to like go to a different university for 4 years, be their Mike backer, like be their guy. And he's had like multiple linebacker coaches while he was there, and then come here and just pick it up and play a completely different style of football is crazy. Like the Big Ten and the ACC couldn't be further apart in style of play.
Yeah.
Like if I saw RPO the whole game and like had to pass coverage the whole game and make 3 tackles in the run game, like I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Oh, yeah. And then now he's like, 12 personnel, these tight ends aren't leaving the field. Like what is going on?
Definitely.
It's so cool. I mean, like probably if you guys watch game film from game 1 to Minnesota game, like the communication is every week guys get better. But it's just so cool. And both you guys you're the top, or you're the leader for Power 5 tacklers, and he's up there too. Yeah, I mean it's, and then last year is Campbell and just the whole show. Linebackers are one of the main things at Iowa now. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I knew we had big shoes to fill. Just with Campbell and Benson, like those dudes logged so many snaps for us. I mean, they did such a great job, like both of them, and I feel like that's why our defense has had the success that we had because we had two linebackers out there balling for the last 3 years or 4 years that they were here, and I knew that. I mean, in order for this defense to keep doing what we do, like linebackers have to play good. Yeah, I feel like Nick did a great job just coming in. He kind of looks like he's been here his whole career.
Mm-hmm. Totally. You're our first linebacker that we ever had on. What's it like playing for Coach Wallace and Phil Parker from your standpoint?
Dude, I think Coach Wallace is like the best linebacker coach. And I hate to put Nick in trouble, but obviously Nick's been coached by other linebacker coaches, and I mean Wallace is all I know, so I kind of assume that everybody in the country is being coached with the level of detail that Wallace does. But I mean, there's just when I was in high school, dude, if I like knew half the stuff I knew in high school, like I could have made it to Bama. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like a completely different game. Like the things that I pay attention to now that like I just didn't know that existed. Like literally can't like watch a TV like football on TV without like thinking about something like dissecting what's about to happen, like the formation, all that stuff. And like that's just like Wallace, like he just like teaches you all that, so it just helps you play faster. And it's like I don't know, like people say like you just kind of go to the ball, you just play fast, and it's like well, like I'm able to do that because like I eliminated half their playbook because like just what I've been taught. So I don't know. I'm high on Wallace, and then obviously Coach Parker seems to find a way to call the perfect call like every time. So
it's so it's so cool. Yeah, when we were at the Purdue game, the best Phil Parker moment we saw was Kerner. He's come on before, but he was holding a sheet of paper after a touchdown, and Phil Parker just goes over, rips the paper out of his hand, and spikes it. It's like he just brings that passion, man. It gets everyone fired up.
it was probably when we gave up that touchdown before half.
Yep.
He was not a happy camper.
I can only imagine that locker room. He's probably fired up.
Dude, he's been pretty like chill this year.
Really?
He's like he's still Coach Parker, but it's like it's been pretty calm.
That's pretty nice.
I know.
It's funny. Honestly, it's funny from an offensive perspective to watch that. It's like I can't even imagine like it's me getting bitched at right now, like Coach Parker's bitching at other people. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But being on that side is probably not that funny at the moment.
It's like what's crazy is like when you messed up, dude. That's what's like,
Sure.
It's like then that walk like that, the walk from like a PAT to the sideline after a score is like you just feel like you're just like 200 yards away. Like that's the worst feeling ever. It's like a PAT, dude, coming off the field. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's incredible. All right, well, Jay, thank you for coming on. Good luck this weekend. Dick Butkus Award is in your future. You're killing it this year, man.
Appreciate that.
Keep down then, baby.
Yes, Sirski.